The war in Afghanistan is one of the most controversial topics in Canada, especially when soldiers die. 49 members of the Quebec Vandew's military regiment were killed in Afghanistan. This started a nationalist fever in Quebec, where voters have just said yes in a referendum to leave the country. Prime Minister Harper has called an emergency constitutional conference to keep the country together. This is a fictional scenario these St. Thomas University students are dealing with. They have taken on the role of Canada's premiers and deputy premiers. They are participating in a mock emergency constitutional conference. They are trying to unify and revive Canada. Our Prime Minister is played by this man, Dr. Tom Bateman. Sean Graham is played by Nathan Scott. Scott says he is learning a lot at the conference and that a Quebec referendum is never too far away.
The issues that we're dealing with, they're very real. The possibility of a successful referendum, while has been taken off the table by the actual Premier Marois a couple weeks ago, it's still fresh on the minds of many people. The Liberal Party in Quebec is very weak. There is still a strong national movement, and we must realize that.
Julian Walker is a professor at STU. He came up with the idea for the conference. He says it is an important learning experience in a country with so many distinctive cultures.
There's two sides of this. One of them is that it's a teaching experience. You learn by doing, and these students have, I think, had a lot of fun in doing that. The other side of it is they are, a lot of them, interested in politics and how politics works. And I think they probably added to their taste for the whole political life.
Just like a real constitutional conference, the talks were all around a table and in public. The students left this room and had supper together where they discussed issues informally, without having to posture for the media. John McNeil played the Deputy Premier of PEI. He said these private meetings are where the real work will happen.
We need to understand how these things work behind closed doors, and we need to understand the difficulties in trying to reach consensus when you've got, there's the 10 our provinces and then the territories and then the Aboriginal population, all these people jockeying with different concerns and interests, and they all have to reach consensus somehow. And that's the challenge of federalism.
Quebec leaving is not the only problem in this fictional scenario. Every province is bringing issues to the table. Before reaching an agreement, students will have to decide on changes to immigration, education, military commitments, and even electoral reform. All of the students believe that Quebec separatism is a major problem, as do some Frederictonians.
About them leaving Canada?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They're in such a fragile state, with everything that has happened politically in the past. So I think that anything could really trigger it. It's definitely like a fragile subject.
Look back in World War II where we had that crisis with conscription, and we had the crisis where Quebec said we are not going to fight an English war, and they weren't going to fight in the Boer War because we're French, we're not fighting the English's war. I think it could definitely cause a huge crisis.
These residents are afraid of what would happen to the Maritimes if Quebec chose to leave Canada.
I think it would probably split up, like the Maritimes would be, up the stream without a paddle, basically. And I don't really know what the politicians would do, but it would be hard to keep the country together, I think.
I definitely think that it would cripple us economy-wise, because it would cut off the Atlantic provinces, which would cause problems for trade, where we're heavy in the lumber and the maple syrup and fishing.
Misha Nowicki played the Premier of Quebec. She said she could understand why separatists want to leave Canada, and that the reasons go beyond current affairs. She also thinks Canada needs some constitutional changes.
A lot of these problems can be resolved through bilateral, trilateral, or interprovincial agreements. The Constitution as it stands is 27 years old, which is nothing wrong with that, but considering how Canada has changed politically, socially, economically, culturally, in great amounts within even just the past 5 to 10 years, I believe a revision is necessary.
The students said they enjoyed the conference and learned a lot. Walker said it worked out perfectly. They resolved most of the issues brought to the table and managed to keep Quebec in Canada. However, there are still some problems that did not find solutions, and Walker is hoping to meet again. For STU Journalism, I'm Tom Henheffer.